Hi guys, this is Lachette from Scarlet Moon Creations, and I'm back with a new video. This is another tarot tag. Also, I guess kind of a witchy, pagany, new agey one. Manifesting Magic March, created by Mystic Mand. Do go check them out. I very intrigued by this. It's all about manifesting using the cards, essentially. I haven't done that. For the past year, I've been thinking about it and whatnot. So let's go. We're supposed to pick one deck per prompt. There are 7 or 8 prompts, technically. And I didn't always do that. In fact, most of the time I did not do that. So half of my collection is going to be here. I think this stems from the fact that I have not used any of these cards for manifesting or goal setting or spell work, really. A little bit of the latter, but yeah. So bear with me on that, and I'll explain why I have multiple decks for each. But yeah, so let's get into it. Prompt number 1 is what's the deck you are most grateful for? Now, I could have picked multiple, but let's go with the most recent gratefulness, and that is the Buffy the Vampire Slayer tarot deck from Insight Editions. And there's the backs. I love this deck. I love Buffy, and I love the fact that they created this deck. It's not perfect, and we all know the guidebook is not perfect either. So it is what it is, but I was talking with Robin's Reflections a while ago about these decks, these types of, oh my god, what is it called? Pop culture decks. And quite honestly, they speak to the inner child in me, right? Many of them do. In particular, this one speaks to teenage me, and so connecting with teenage me has been a thing with this deck, like provoked, unexpectedly. So I am grateful for that. Okay. Deck. The prompt number 2, what's a deck you feel will help you towards your goals? This is where we start doing multiples, guys. First up, we have the Making Magic cards, Manifesting Your Dreams by Priestess Moon. And literally it says use these cards to boost your spell work or carry a chosen card to achieve your goals. Lay out your cards, light a candle in front of you, and focus on the desired outcome for excellent results, like the bare minimum. And so I was like, I think, this makes sense. These are one of these mini decks from Rockpool, and I love that. I need to use these more. I fell off, and need to get back to it. So in a very direct way, this is it. Like, technically I don't need anything else, but I don't use those for everything for a reason. Another deck I think would be helpful, the Black Moon Astrology cards by Susan Shepard. I have this is the one deck that I have modded. I cut off the borders. You can use it like an oracle deck. It has a very robust guidebook, and there are keywords on each card. I think that my goal setting, to an extent, or my spell work also is astrology just makes sense to me in those in those ways. So I think this deck would be helpful for that. Now, Mond mentioned about wanting to be grounded in or manifesting, and that makes sense to me. I am fire and earth are the lowest in my chart, so I thought having an earthy-ish deck that kind of tells it like it is a good idea. And here's the Heart of the Faeries Oracle. I love these guys. These are one of the decks I've had for the longest, and yeah, they play no games. This deck also has archetypes in it, and so I'm like, this would be a good idea. Tried and true as an oracle deck, and also one that is grounded, though maybe not in reality. Hence why I'm picking one more deck for this month. As an option is the Light Seers Tarot by Chris Ann. I mean, we all know this one. Mond, I think, picked it as well. And it's just amazing. It's like the modern mystic, obviously, the Light Seer. Reality, I think, most of the time shows up in these cards, and I can see myself literally in them. So I think that's why they would be helpful with goal setting. The next prompt is, what's the deck that helps strengthen your spiritual connections? Now I could totally bring back the Light Seers and the Black Moon Astrology cards, because they would fit this as well. However, I have some other options. This is the deck that last year really had me thinking about, like, doing manifestation work with the tarot. Spirit Keepers Tarot Revelation Edition. Like, it's basically been made for this. I have some cards separated from others for reasons as I'm working with it. But you're meant to work with the spirits in each card, and or talk with spirits, whether that's your spirit guide or the ones innate to the cards, however you want to do that, deity, or because there's quite a few historical and there's angels and archangels and great energies, deities in the cards. So that's a lot of spiritual options there, and I'm totally looking forward to doing that. Benabel in the massive book of maps, the quote-unquote guidebook, gives you lots of options, in even more here on her little mini course here on YouTube. So, like, even the box is, like, built for this kind of thing. So why wouldn't I? That could be my only answer, but it is not. To make things less esoteric and a little bit, there's a Sacred Destinies Oracle by Denise Lynn. Discover the landscape of your soul. I think that speaks immensely. These are kind of like portals in a sense. And we've got animals and fascinating locations and interesting keywords that I think, can help me imagine and also connect spiritually. In the guidebook, you have messages from the cards, what the energy of the landscape of the location is trying to give you, what's the message. And so that's another interesting, like having spiritual messages. I've got one more. Moonology Oracle cards by Yasmin Boland. Artwork by Nyx Rowan. I've only got this one. There's manifestation cards, and I'm like, oh, well, maybe now I will get those. I was very happy with this. And yeah, messages from the moon, essentially, and giving you that astrology aspect again. I enjoy their mantras and affirmations in the guidebook. So, connecting with that, something beyond us as humans with these cards is very cool. I think spiritually, there's a lot of moon stuff in my practice and my spiritual practices. So that's why that deck works. The next prompt, prompt number 4, is my favorite affirmation deck. I technically only have one. These are the original, sorry guys, Money Magic Manifestation cards by Ethany Dawn. And yeah, there's a newer version. The cards are a little bigger, but this is fine. And I love these. So that one got beat up very early on. I'm grateful every day for the money blessings in my life. It is safe for me to succeed in my goals. I'm ready to accept even more abundance in my life. I have permission to shine and be successful. Today, money flows to me effortlessly. My ideal clients find me and work with me with ease. I am all I need to manifest wealth. I'm ready to play big. So yeah. It's hard to have anything other than this one as a favorite one. It's the only one I have, technically. However, I mentioned the Moonology cards, and the Light Seers Tarot also has, in the guidebooks, affirmations. And so does the Good Tarot by Colette Marin Reed. Mentioned this one as well in her video, and I was like, this was gifted to me. And yeah, it's called the Good Tarot because it's all about the positive. The thing that I like about this is that in the guidebook there are tons of affirmations, really. You can be using them as mantras as well. And yes, you can use this as a tarot deck. I don't often do that. Let me show the guidebook for this. Like, that's pretty much all there is. For the majors, there's also a keyword, and then, let's see, like love instead of lovers. Let's do the Chariot. Chariot is victory. Everything I have worked for, including obstacles I have faced and overcome, is now part of this time of victory. That could be one by itself. I have learned to see all aspects of my life as essential to my growth. a second affirmation. I have fallen, but now I am risen again to live freely and truthfully, fearlessly and skillfully. Another affirmation, or the whole paragraph can be one. And then let's go for the Two of Water, which would be Two of Cups. Multiple keywords here. And then I partner with one who is in harmony with me. Together we explore what is and what might be, knowing we are there for each other. Two hearts beat as one as we take turns replenishing, encouraging the other. I have someone who can bring out the best in me, and I can do the same for another soul, for we are all expressions of divine love. So, like, that's, all of these are like that. King of Earth, I have trust and faith in the invisible and know it will manifest in the realm of form the way I need it to. So those are just some examples, and I was like, this is definitely my favorite affirmation deck, even though it's not an affirmation deck. I just like that there's a lot more options with this one. The money manifestation cards are more focused, though they can be used in a more general way. What's a deck that will help keep you focused on your goals? And I do like the way Man talked about this being like the big sister version of prompt number 2 of what will help you towards your goals. And it took a little bit of thinking for me to try to figure this out. And as I said, my chart is very low in earth and fire. And I feel like fire is the element usually, like in my regular life, missing a lot of. That push, that spark, that raring to go energy. And a new deck, new to me, is the one I picked, Afro Goddess Arcanas. This is by Andrea Furtick. This is the mass market edition, and it was gifted to me, and I love it so much because for years I wasn't sure about these decks and the artwork, but I love it so. And yeah, they're holographic, which throws me off a little bit, but mostly when it's on camera. I feel like this deck gives me reality and passion. Like, it's showing love, but also like, girl, get it together. Get it together. I love the guidebook so far. The imagery doesn't really scream modern, but the guidebook definitely does. It speaks my language. It's created by someone, a black woman, in modern times. So, like, it just works for me. And I appreciate this deck's existence. And look at those backs. That is gorgeous. It's gorgeous. So that's that one. Prompt number 6. What's a deck that will help keep you uplifted? And the Light Seer's Tarot definitely, though it has its shadow seer sides as well, but I'm not going to bring that back out. I've got the Soul Trees Oracle cards. These are by Allison Williams Yee, and this is an indie deck. I don't know if she's still selling these. This is the first edition, because I do believe she had others. There's 3 types of cards in here. They're the soul trees. I mean, they're all trees, but there's soul trees, there's chakra cards, and then there's interpretation cards. No, that's another chakra. When we come across it, I'll show you. Here we go. This is one of the interpretation cards. And I, like, there's a little tiny booklet that's like 8 pages, and it's mostly just listing the cards. It's a deck meant to be intuitive. It's quite often a comfort deck. Just looking at it is comforting. And it's not that there are no negative aspects, but it always makes me feel like whatever is possible. So that's the uplifting aspect. And yeah, this is my comfort deck. So I do love the keywords, and it's a deck that I've tried to shoehorn into spots that it should be in, but for uplifting, it is the one. Oh, look at that. I do have another deck though. I need to zoom out. The Illustrated Herbiary by Maya Tall. This is the collectible box set. I have a walkthrough of the original version on my channel, but last year I was given this as a gift. So here we are. I think it's uplifting mostly because of the guidebook, if I'm being 100% honest with you. Each card is about a plant, and yes, there are keywords, which is great, and they're pretty positive. But in the guidebook, you get a ritual and reflections for each plant, and they're usually about, self-improvement and kind of a little mystical and magical, and I appreciate that. So let's look at the guidebook real quick. Here it is. Let's randomly, we've got Comfrey here, and we get some interesting stuff about Comfrey, and then, like I said, the ritual and reflection. Breaking apart, the flip side to mending is breaking. We're training to appear strong and often feel guilt or shame when we break. So find something you can safely smash, hurl, stomp on, or pummel. Do it. Allow yourself to scream, or at least grunt loudly. Nothing like that in your house? Beat up your bed with a pillow. What you're going for is a moment where your mind stops chattering and you simply release. So that's the ritual. The reflection, dissolution. It's easier to break something than it is to repair it, and yet there's a rare release in breaking and dissolution that we seldom let ourselves feel. Think of the caterpillar that turns into DNA soup during its time in the cocoon so it can emerge as a butterfly. And then we have like these prompt questions, and you can pull cards, you can journal. What if you knew without a doubt that you can break and be remade? What if you can find joy in the breaking? What possibilities might this open up in you? And down here you get like like a quote. So you'll see it's like that for all of them. And I feel that is, let me see. They're fairly simple, and I appreciate, I've done this for Mugwort, the Remembering Dreams ritual, and I feel it's uplifting. So, next prompt. Technically, this is the last prompt. Number 7, what's a deck you manifested into your life? And I'm going to say The Herb Crafter's Tarot by Joanna Powell Colbert and Letitia Guthrie. This was given to me as a gift. I wanted it and wanted it and wanted it and wanted it. But, circumstances did not make that happen for me myself. And then a friend wanted to give me a holiday gift, and it was a whole thing. And she was having a hard time, and she had picked some deck that I already had, and then she sent it back, and then she picked something else, and then there was an issue with that, and like finally, this one, I was like, you need the herb crafters. This happened. I am downplaying the whole story. I was not the one going back and forth with the shop. So it didn't affect me too much. But yeah, she went through it to get me to have this deck. So I love this deck so very much. I could totally see myself using this for manifesting, goal setting, planning. I work a lot with plants and herbs in particular, and a lot of the practices talked about in here are great. Meaning in the guidebook, there are rituals and workings you can do, meaning like ways you can use the plants, preparations, that's the term I was looking for, and formulating, all of that stuff. And lemon balm is like one of my favorites all time. And so, yes, this is the deck I manifested into my life. The last prompt, the last one, is 8. Feel free to share anything you've manifested into your life. This was hard because I started this off saying I don't really feel like I do that in a like obvious way anyway, manifesting. But my first job out of college, the internship in the first place, for years I wanted to work for the New York City Parks Department, and I got the chance, and I had a beautiful time in my years there. Not a very long time, but stuff outside of my purview and therefore control ended that. And my first apartment, like the address is, I wasn't thinking of those numbers as important. I'm not a numerology girly, but like I saw the place, I loved it. It had all of the things I wanted in an apartment, and it's great, right? And then I looked back after I signed the paperwork and everything a couple weeks later. I was like, this building number is like, it's me. So those are some things I've manifested into my life, and I would like to get back to that, belief in myself and the world around me and manifesting. So yeah, maybe down the road you'll hear about some work I've done, some manifesting work with any or all of these decks. I don't know who I should tag, if I should tag anyone. Anybody who's watching this can do it. Maybe I will tag Aquamarine 18 Tarot and Books. And I know she does a little bit of stuff on the druid side. I don't remember if manifesting is that, but included in that. But it can also be, like I said, goal setting and achieving goals, or spell work. In this case, I agree with Man that it's not about my belief in like the whole manifesting thing with the cards is not about looking towards the future and manifesting that or working against that. Like divination, it's kind of like vision boarding in a sense, and choosing the archetypes in particular from the cards, and also looking to them for support as you do your manifesting as well. So there's that. Maybe Antoinette's tarot and jewelry, and is it Debbie's witchy vlog, I think is the name of her channel. And then Robin's reflections, because maybe I mean, you have a ton of decks, so I don't know if you do like manifesting. I don't think you do spell work, but what do I know? And I mean, for if you look at it, like I said, goal planning, setting, and supporting your like work to achieve your goals, you can look at it from that aspect. But yeah, so that's who I tag. I'll put them in the description, so you can find their channels and check them out because they're all awesome anyway. And that is it for me today, guys. Like this video if you liked it, subscribe if you are new, hit the notification bell so you know when the next video is coming. I've done 2 tarot tags in like a week, filming wise. You'll see these probably further apart, but I'm feeling myself. I really enjoyed these. And this one in particular, it's like a sign. Do what you want to do. I said I've been thinking about it for a year, so like, do what you want to do. Yeah, links in the description to everything I've mentioned or just written in the description. Definitely find the original video there as well. And you can find a 10% off discount code to my Etsy shop where I make all natural bath and body products for magical and mundane purposes. And I also offer tarot and oracle card readings. You can find a link to my Patreon, which has several tiers, but there is a free tier with blog posts and things like that where I talk about tarot, oracle, herbalism, and running a small business. So yeah, check that out. And guys, thank you as always so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.